Okay, so how long have you worked at Sunrise?
I've been here, it's been about a year, a
Okay.
little over a year, so.
So what's your position title here?
Well, I actually do a couple different jobs here. My primary position is the Activities and Volunteer Assistant Manager. And I also do a little bit of the life enrichment programming. So a little bit of both, but primarily activities.
So what is your typical day like in your position?
Well, I do a lot of different things. A lot of activities, obviously, and another big one is the community outings. We spend a lot of time, we drive out in the van and go shopping and out to lunch and out to movies and things like that. So I do a lot of the outings. Other than just activities, another big part of the job is, finding entertainment and planning events. Also the budgeting. I'm in charge of keeping track of my department's finances. And then there's the whole volunteer program, so that's kind of a job in itself too. But there is a lot of different things other than activities that a lot of people may not know right off the bat.
So do you work mostly with the residents, or is it more behind the scenes? I mean, do you interact with them a lot?
It's both, and all communities like this are different, and some of them have an entire activities department with 20 people in their department. Here we only have 2 of us in the activities department, so we can't do every single activity for all 90 residents. So we do, a lot of it is work or activities directly with the residents, but we also have a lot of support from other team members with activities too, just because it's not possible for the 2 of us to do it all. So we do some, but everybody is involved in activities here.
Okay. So this is a senior living home, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is that different from a nursing home?
Well, we're an assisted living unit. We've also got 2 memory care units.
Okay.
And I guess what sets us apart from a nursing home is, and we try to make this more of a home-like place. If you go into a nursing home, you get the hospital sort of feel. So we really try to make sure our residents are living their lives the way they always wanted to live them, and they're still doing the things they've always liked to do, and it feels much more like home. And even just walking around the community, you'll see that just the way we decorate it and the way we do things here is a much homier environment. So.
What is the main goal of Sunrise, just to make it more homely instead of hospital-like?
Yep, and to provide the residents with excellent care.
Mm-hmm.
So we really do. We have a lot of one-to-one care and attention provided for the residents, and we're highly staffed so that we have a lot of people here caring for the residents, and they are getting they're getting adequate care, and they're involved in activities, and they're out in the community, and they're engaged in all those things too. So, that's a really important thing for us here too.
So what qualifies someone to live at Sunrise?
Well, I guess there's not certain or real specific standards. We, if they're interested in coming to a community like this, the first step would be to come in for a tour, and there's lots of assessments and a whole process that they go through. So based on what we find there would be how we determine whether they're a memory care resident or assisted living. So there's lots of things within that assessment that would determine that.
Okay.
So,
is there a large waiting list for Sunrise?
We do have open rooms now, and we usually do have open rooms, but it varies. It depends. We have people, people pass people, so things like that happen. So it really depends and it varies. But typically, yes, we do have open rooms. So,
what made you want to start working at Sunrise?
To be honest, it actually wasn't anything that I had planned on doing, and even when I was in college a few years ago, I didn't have any idea that I wanted to do something like this, and I sort of fell into it with my internship that I had my senior year of college, and I really did that internship because it was, I mean, there were very few that you could find during the summer, and I sort of just got stuck with it, but then I ended up loving it, and it was great, and it was a great experience, and I fell in love with the residents there, and you know, after I graduated, they hired me on right away, so I got a job right away, and it just everything fell into place, and I just loved it, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what keeps you working here?
You know, I like that, I like this community. You know, the environment is just really nice, the staff members are great, and we're a smaller community too, which is another unique thing about Sunrise. You know, we only have 90 residents, and you know, the last community I was at, we had 400. So,
oh wow.
So it's a very close-knit community, and it feels like sort of a family almost. Everybody knows everybody. But I like that a lot, and I've really gotten to know the residents really well and formed pretty close relationships with them. So, you know, the residents are what makes me like my job so much. So.